Agenda item number 1, the approval of the agenda. Superintendent's recommendation.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the agenda for this evening.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Agenda item number 2, approval of the minutes of the October 4th, 2012 regular meeting.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the minutes as written.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
Notice the field house name is different in 2 places. I think in the second place the names got transposed. Because the motion was made, it was Metals Mars Field House, and then later in there it says the vote was unanimous to be Mars Metals.
Yeah, Meadows for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just those ones.
I moved to without amendment.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Agenda item number 3, receive the financial report and bank reconciliation for September 2012.
I'd like to recommend that you receive the financial reports and bank reconciliations, and you have these attached. Becky's here.
Yes.
Any question?
I sent everybody an email today. I don't know if y'all all got it. Okay.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Agenda item number 4, delegations. Agenda item number 5, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding job description.
I'd like to recommend, excuse me, you should set aside the 30-day rule and approve the job description for the interventionist. And you have a copy of the letter from Dr. Atkins in relation to the position and the reason for the position to be approved, and you have a copy of the job description attached.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions about the job description or the laying the 30 days to the side?
Why are we so late that we're having to lay the 30 days aside?
Well, normally a job description lays on the table for 30 days, and if we do that this time, we actually need to go ahead and get it approved and get it posted and get the person hired so that they can start after Christmas. If we do that, and you approve it in January, then we'll have enough time to posting the person on board, hire them and do the reviews for pay from that.
If we do it now, though, and we approve it in December, can we not do it then?
Well, we could. I mean,
But then we have to go another month to hire.
Yeah, we have to wait. So we have to post it, and then we run into Christmas vacation with the posting for 30 days, I think.
I understood that in reading the letter, but if I'm getting at is this something that just popped up, or is this something that's been...
No, it's something that the state will have required, and Melinda's here, Dr. Atkins, she can explain it better.
It's a position that has to be reflected out of the current fiscal year budget, so we couldn't put it into place and start the process for it till after October 1.
Where's the money going to come from?
It's monies I'm sorry, Chip.
Go ahead.
It's current money that we already have, it's IDEA Part B. It's just using it in a different way. The state's requiring us to use it for early intervening services, so it's not an additional expenditure.
It's a budgeted item for you to start with, is what you're saying?
It was the monies were already there. That it was already part of the budget and the money that we get.
It is included in the special education federal budget, and it's required that we spend 15%. This year, it's a new requirement for us to spend 15% of the total federal special ed monies that we receive for early intervening services.
So it's not coming out of any new pot of money. It's the
It's
Sorry.
Get this person on board as
So-
soon after Christmas.
But it's not a position we've had before.
It's a new position.
So next, the meeting in December, we'll hire this person, correct? To start in January, is that the idea?
That's what we're doing.
well. My hope would be that we could start immediately, so that she or he would have December to get things in scheduled and hit the ground running with the intervention in
How are
January.
we gonna do the 30 days?
Well, if you set the rules aside, see, it's a new position.
No, I'm not
It's
talking about
posted
that, I'm
on
talking
the-
about what you said, which is, it's gotta be posted. You're wanting to start in December, right?
I would hope we would have a recommendation for your December board meeting to start immediately.
And it has to be
Close
posted
to
for
14 days, it's a
14
new
days.
position.
Okay, does anybody have any other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Agenda. I'm not sure it's the right one here.
6.
Agenda item number 6, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding personnel.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the following personnel actions.
Okay.
First, leave of absence, certified.
Okay.
Okay, certified Christy Windsor, first grade teacher Caldwell, November the 8th through May 24th, and Brooke Yarber, third grade teacher Nelson Elementary School, January 2nd through May 24th, and this is an extension of her maternity leave. Okay, and the next is employment of certified of Laura Skipper, first grade teacher Caldwell, November the 8th, as a leave of absence for Christy Windsor through May 24th.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
Can I hold up for just 1 second?
Yes.
This question, it's a point of order issue. I didn't want to interrupt you, but in order to lay the rules aside, there has to be a unanimous vote, first to lay the rules aside, and then the vote on the subject matter. Is that all right?
I believe that's correct.
So
Right.
the vote that we actually did was to lay the rules aside, and then we still have to vote on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the first vote was to lay the rules aside. Second vote would be to approve the job description. All right, now, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Okay, any questions about that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Sorry about that. What we got, number 6, right?
Okay, can you go ahead and make the motions again?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay.
Go on ahead.
Okay, I'd like to make a recommendation that you approve the following in personnel. First, leave of absence, certified Christy Windsor, first grade teacher Caldwell, November the 8th through May 24th. And then second, Brooke Yarber, third grade teacher Nelson, January 2nd through May 24th. And this one is extension of her maternity leave. And then that you employ as a certified teacher Laura Skipper, first grade teacher Caldwell, November the 8th through May 24th, as leave of absence for Christy Windsor.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Agenda item number 7, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding out-of-state travel.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the following out-of-state travel. Lee Score is requesting permission to travel to Murphy, North Carolina, December 3rd through the 7th, 2012, to attend the John C. Campbell Folk School, and she's paying the expenses herself.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
Just a comment, I'm proud she's doing that on, I mean, you know, anytime somebody's better and able to help our students and paying their own way.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Agenda item number 8, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding revision to the 2012-2013 school calendar.
I'd like to make the recommendation that you approve the revision to the 2012-13 school calendar. The State Department changed 2 of the testing dates, the ARC test from April 8th to May 6th, and this is the reason that we're having to amend it.
Okay, for the superintendent's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
So that's actually the only thing that's changing, or just those test dates on here, and the way it's highlighted? Okay.
Any other questions? If not, all in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Agenda item number 9, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding classworks agreement.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the classworks agreement for Scottsboro Junior High School at a cost of $27,735 to be paid over a 3-year period.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
Why are we having to approve this?
I'm gonna answer that question if you have specifics regarding what it does, and Mr. Bonner's here. We have a screener that we have at Collins and the high school that we have funding for, that assesses kids in different areas related to the deficiencies and now calling for these kind of things. But we didn't junior high one included, and I didn't want to skip in grades. I wanted it to be 5 through 12, not 5 through 6 and 9 through 12. So Mr. Bonner and I agreed, we talked to Becky, we found the funding to go ahead and include junior high school in that too. So there wouldn't be a skip in the curriculum, and that's the reason for that.
I guess what I'm getting at is, it's something that's not required to be bid, and it's something that you already
It's
signed.
because of the amount, just the
It's-
amount.
Well, the contract was signed September 26, 2012, so it's already a done deal.
The contract is signed, but we
We
get
still
out
have-
of
we
it
still
if the
have-
board obviously didn't approve it. We couldn't spend that amount of money.
Yeah, I have to bring it before the board, but they had a deadline too, because they had to finish it their year. They actually did us a favor with some of this. We got some extra things with it if we went ahead and we had the money. It was, I'm not sure which pot we finally took it out of, but we had several pots of money that could come out of, and we knew it was the best thing for the kids. So that was the reason we had to go ahead and do that.
All right, and you said you got someone, I'm kind of a little ignorant on this classwork. Someone that can actually tell me what it is.
Alan,
I'll be glad to.
explain that.
ClassWorks is an intervention program that we have in place. We've used some different ones through the last few years, but we got on board with it with the high school. When the high school, when we hit our school improvement status, we knew that we needed to have some program in place that would target reading and math deficiencies. It's a screener. We'll screen every student at the high school, the junior high, and at Collins. And so we were able to pay for the high schools out of a state fund source. We were able to pay for the Collins out of a federal fund source. And we just realized that the junior high probably had the greatest need. And so that's why after we were seeing the results and the data we were getting from Collins and the junior high, or in the high school, that's when we really started looking at putting it into the junior high school.
So it's a screener. What do you do with the data that you get out of the screening process?
Well, what you do is each student that is screened, once they're screened, then their rate, their level of proficiency is determined. So we may have an 8th grade student to take the screener, and it'll show that they're at a 4th grade level. Let's just use that as an example. And then from there, the program gives a prescription for that student as far as what it will take, how many sessions it's going to take to try to bring them up to the 8th grade level.
Now, is this something that's done strictly within the software, or is there a teacher that helps them along with it?
It's done through the software. Now, it'd be facilitated with an instructor, but it's done through the software.
Okay.
In their regular classroom?
No, it'd be more, it can be in the classroom setting, but it's on the computer, but it's also will be pull-out, where they'll target those students. And there's only, I can't remember how many seats, but like at the junior high, only 75 students can work on that. And so that'll be the
It's
20%
intense.
or so the strugglers. The lowest tier or the highest tiers, we say like a tier 3 students will be the ones that will target.
So we're not going to use it as a substitute, but in addition to.
No, sir. It ties into RTI, that response to instruction or response to intervention. It ties directly into that, so that we have a way of targeting students that sometimes may get lost between the cracks because they don't receive any special education services. They're not on an IEP, or they don't receive any pull-out services. And also at our elementary schools, we have title programs that provide that intervention. We do not at the junior high school, and so we're hoping to provide that through this.
Okay. So this will give the junior high this program for 3 years.
Yes. And on that contract, you know, the contract provides some flexibility that if those funding sources are not available for Collins or for the high school, then we can void the contract.
Right, then we're not obligated.
Mr. Gardner, haven't we used ClassWorks before? I think a few years ago. We used
ClassWorks
This
is
is
pretty.
There was something else similar to ClassWorks.
Compass Learning.
Compass Learning is what they have.
And we use that too.
We still use that.
That's
Yes,
what-
we do.
We still use Compass.
Y'all have any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Agenda item number, get down there. I'll get my finger open up.
So number 10.
Slow moving. It's not the operator, it's just slow. It's not the people. It's just slow. Okay.
36.
36. Here I've got it. Okay. Consider superintendent's recommendation regarding fundraiser request.
I'd like to recommend that you approve the fundraisers that you have attached.
Okay, you've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Let me make a couple of comments if I could, because there's one fundraiser on here with the softball team that she inadvertently put that she was using students on here, and she's actually not. She said it's a booster club fundraiser and not the students. And then on the cosmetology, on the one that's dated
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
And the February 3rd vote.
She kind of stopped in the middle of her description of what's going on, and it's actually going to be a competition with hair cutting and makeup, and it's going to be a competition of that particular sort. And she kind of stopped in one of them, the two of them, and just said expenses, or competition skills, period. That's the explanation for those two. Do I have any questions about the others?
Just what I mentioned earlier where it says didn't have parents' permission, says not this time. We'll just make sure we get that. As opposed to the cosmetology ones do not have the parents' permission.
Anybody have any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no.
Someone asked me the other day, this is a good time to ask this, whether there was a limit to how many fundraisers an entity inside the program or outside can do.
There is as far as students. Students can participate in two per sport or group or club or whatever, but boosters can do however many. I mean, we haven't put a limit on that. But I've just started bringing everything before the board, so you'll be aware of it. But there is a limit on the number of students per group can do too.
There's another question asked this week. If the junior high does a booster or does a fundraiser and uses the kids, and then the high school, say it's junior high softball, and the junior high softball uses their kids for two events, and then the junior high or the high school softball, they can do two fundraisers and use the senior kids, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's separated. Okay.
We normally, I think we have in the past.
Okay. Somebody asked me that.
Now, if it's cross country and there's 7 through 12 or something like that, and the kids, they're not separated, they're all together, that's a different thing than two separate
In some fundraisers, they encompass the whole
The
team,
whole
like the
group.
cross country might do 7 to 12, but the
But
softball may break it up into two. Actually, I think cross country could break it up into
they
two.
could if they chose to.
Especially track.
Yeah.
They could.
Their transportation is separate.
We don't split hairs on some of those things. We know we need the money.
Yeah. Okay. Agenda item number 11, receive information regarding Children Internet Protection Act.
Just like to recommend that you receive the information that you have, you have a copy attached.
I got a question about it. The September 12, 2012 public meeting, how's that published?
It's published as far as I know.
In the paper, on Channel 10, Angie sends out an email to all the different places for them to put it in.
Since this is mostly parent type stuff, can we start doing that through school casting?
You could. We don't have many parents participate now.
We've never had one to show up.
Yeah, I kind of thought that.
Not one.
Since it's kind of parent oriented, it's in
Yes.
school casting, the parents would know more about it. 'Cause
Send them out the paper then.
That's a good idea.
Okay, anybody have any more questions? Agenda item number 12, consider superintendent's recommendation regarding approval of continuous improvement plan.
I'd like to recommend that you approve these for all schools. This is a requirement by the State Department, and plans have to be signed and submitted to the state by the board president.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'd move to let this line take 30 days. It's 80-something pages long, and I've read some of it and tried to digest it, but there's a lot there. Since we got this on, was it Monday or Tuesday, I know I haven't been able to digest it all. And it's somewhat applicable to a policy that we would let lie on the table for 30 days anyway. It's something, we should be following and don't have to stay down the state. So, frankly, it wouldn't hurt to have some of those people that are involved in building this to maybe have a work session and sit down and explain some of it.
That's fine.
So often, I know,
When's this gonna be submitted?
Well, Mr.
Al.
Gordon.
Oh, when does it have to be submitted?
It's, this plan, the thing about a CIP is they require that the board approves the plan, but the thing about it is you can approve it today, and this plan can change tomorrow. Because the CIP is an active, living document. It's very programmatic in nature, but they may be working on something for the last month and a half, and they may bring their leadership team together tomorrow and decide we need to change it. And so, it's constant, and that's the one thing they don't want is, used to with Title I plans, they sit on a shelf and nobody would use them. But these plans are, they're living because they're constantly looking at it, addressing it, assessing it, and then they're working on it all the time. So every time they have a data meeting, they may see that they need to make a change, and so they will submit those changes, and it will go through the approval process.
Okay, that's fine. Now, we can, we got a motion to table it for 30 days. Do I have a second to table it?
Second.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just to clear up what Alan was saying, this one that we have right here, is there a due date on this one?
November 1st.
I had that feeling.
There is no rush on this because, to be honest with you, they've been working on them since this process starts in April, and they rely heavily on the test data when it comes in. They rely on Title I funds because once those funds and budgets are allocated and approved, then that helps determine the goals in which they're going to try to set, and they'll know whether they can hire an additional person to work with their intervention. It's really about intervention and targeting. The high school,